Hello, welcome to the Mystic and the Physicist. The Mystic is my lovely wife, Deirdre Hade.
Oh.
Yes. And the Physicist is her husband, the lovely William Arntz. Thank you very much. So today, in the spirit of togetherness, we are going to talk about something that both mystics and physicists love: system theory. Now, you may not think, you go, okay, obviously scientists love system theory. It just sounds, the word theory is blah, blah, blah. But the mystics have been coming up with systems to explain and analyze and come to an understanding of ourselves for millennium. Now, on the physical level, of course, we know of the systems, even in our body, digestive system, circulation system, in the world, transportation systems, communication systems. But when you get to the mystical, they too have been doing systems, because we're always trying to understand ourselves, the humans, the most complex device that we've ever found in the universe. So the mystical systems are things like astrology, understanding yourself. They're things like human design, which is one that is a cross between astrology and the I Ching. There is the Enneagram, and I'm all leading up to the one.
The meridians, don't forget about.
Oh, the meridians
the
for
meridians
the yes.
of acupuncture and Tai Chi. Qigong. Also in the Hindu tradition of the yoga is a system of energy, of moving energy. So, yes, there are many systems.
So it's something that both the mystics, because those systems that you talk about, that you just mentioned, those are ones, I mean, they didn't dissect someone to find out the meridian systems. This was something through what we would call mystical insight, mystical seeings, an experiment. They figured out what those were. Same with the chakra system. So I really want to ask Deirdre about, because this is the one that she's had so much amazing success in your healing with and in your journeys, is the Tree of Life, the Kabbalah, or Kabbalah,
Right.
however you want to say it. And this system was, how ancient is that?
Well, it's debatable. The first knowledge that we have of a text about the Tree of Life goes back to the 12th century. And that is, of course, the great book of the Zohar, which means radiance. There is another book, the Sefer Yetzirah, which is really focused on the Tree of Life, what the Tree of Life is. But actually, when you look into archaeological tablets, you find the symbol of the Tree of Life that goes all the way back to Egypt. We find it in Sumer. We find it in the East, and we also find it in the ancient Hindu traditions. There is it's said that the Tree of Life actually is the complete chakra system, so that the Tree of Life holds the chakras. So this system is very ancient. It hasn't been revealed to us in the West for a very long time. These ancient texts were only translated into English in the 1940s, 1950s. And now that we have this new system, which is a very, very ancient system, I'm just so excited about the knowledge that this has, the Tree of Life has. And so I've dedicated my life to teaching it and giving healings from the Tree of Life.
Now, each of these systems, correct me if I'm wrong, each of these systems reflects, it's almost like a different aspect of ourselves. Like, let's say, the meridian system for acupuncture. That's one type of system that's used mostly for physical healing. What would you say the Tree of Life is used mostly for?
Well, let me be really clear. It's how Deirdre uses the Tree of Life because there are many different schools of the Kabbalah Tree of Life, and many different people have different pieces of information. The main thing that we all have together is the template of the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life is an energetic blueprint of our human body. And in this energetic blueprint of our body, we have universes or openings that go into these alternate realities that we've been talking about for the past few of our episodes.
Well, that's pretty trippy. I mean, when you say that there's an opening, you mean that by going into that Tree of Life, if you know how, you can actually plunge into an alternate reality?
Yes, that's what I mean. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Blue pill or red pill, huh?
Well, or sometimes both. A combination of purple. It's a purple pill.
Purple pill.
But really, the Tree of Life, what really got me so fascinated by the Tree of Life is the history of it and the potential it holds for consciousness. Because the Tree of Life is the story, it is the energetic story of creation. I mean, it is from the beginning, let there be light. It is the story of how consciousness formed. And each one of these universes is a consciousness, such as wisdom, understanding, truth, loving kindness, judgment, harmony, peace. Each one of these universes holds a consciousness of a divine self, a divine being. And when we access our inner Tree of Life, you are given a key to the kingdom, a mystical, divine key to expanding your consciousness into an extraordinary possibility. And I have seen this firsthand and experienced it with other people. And that's why I created the Radiance Tree of Life journey. And that's what we do when we go around. I do a journey, and in the journey we enter the Tree of Life. Why don't you share? I'd love to hear you. You've talked to me about it some, but I'd love to hear again, your experience when we go into the Tree of Life. Being a scientist,
I've gone on the trip. But one thing I would like, before I talk about that, because I'm a very practical kind of guy.
Right.
So when you say it gives a key, I'm wondering, like for instance, I know that we've talked about there's different parts of the body, and this is Gavora. The Gavora is like limitations. And so what would be an example of a key that you would get from understanding that you have an energetic center here? It has to do with boundaries and limitations. How could that key open up something in your life to give you a better life?
The universe of Givora, which means judgment, means a boundary, righteousness, strength. And the other universe that goes with it over here, the right, is the Hesed, and that means loving kindness, caring, nurturing. It means action. It means to give. So a key would be, let's say you're a person who gives and gives and gives, and you go, why am I not getting anything in my life? Why is it that people push through my boundaries? I'm out of balance. And we find this a lot, or I do, with spiritual people, because we're all givers, and then at the end of the day we're exhausted. So the key you would receive by working with your Tree of Life is understanding how to access the energy of receiving, of setting a healthy boundary with people, of making a wise choice instead of maybe a choice of I'm going to just kind of caretake until it becomes enabling so I can make a wise choice. So it shifts your perspective. It shifts how you think so that you begin to think in a more balanced way. So the tree of life, which is in the body, has these points. Those are just two of these universes I'm talking about. We call them Sephirot, or the sapphires, but there are 10, and it's a very actually simple system that when you learn this and you experience this in the body, you can very quickly map yourself out as to where you are and balance your body, and thus it affects your mind and how you think. And that's why I created the journey into the Tree of Life.
So my understanding, and well, not just my understanding, my experience, because she's taken me on the blue, red, purple pill trip more than once, and it's quite enjoyable. Is that, I mean, there's guided meditations and then there's journeys. And the
right, but I think it's important to also state that this is a journey work without any plant medicine or ayahuasca, which are great journeys. But this is specifically journeys with energy. So I am channeling an energy, let's say from the Tree of Life, so that your Tree of Life is like goes, whoo, I'm going to grow now. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to open up. So I'm like a catalyst. Would you say?
Yeah, and I mean, you said that, and it always fascinated me. You said that these energy centers are like doorways or keys to a different universe, a different kingdom. And so, what I've experienced is because for you have them open and they're cooking. When you take people on the journey, it's not just like a simple visualization. I mean, it is that, but it's like turbocharged in that not only that, but there's a metaphysical door open and people can actually go in. So in the example we were talking about, they could actually experience, correct me if I'm wrong, what a healthy boundary is like by going through the journey.
Well, and also setting in the body the energetic information. Because remember, your body is thinking too. You know, your body's awake. So we hold thoughts, we hold emotions, obstacles deep in our body, in our tissue, our fascia. And there's a great deal of knowledge in the body. So by working with energy in the Tree of Life, we're helping your body to come back into balance, because when your body's in balance, you heal yourself. And that's what the 32 pathways through the Tree of Life do. They create a grid or an architecture for you to be balanced, happy and healthy, and receive wisdom, receive knowledge that you need for your life.
Well, you know, getting back to the original thing about system theory, you can see how for anyone, by understanding these various systems, and the Tree of Life is one that's been around for a long time, like a lot of these systems are. It's like, I mean, when you say it's a key, I guess that's really a very accurate statement, saying that it's a key to the way we are, and it's a key to improve our lives and to.
And I will say that it's interesting to me that the great books of wisdom on the Tree of Life were translated about 50 years ago. And about 50 years ago, we started entering into the age we're in now, the age of surprise. So what I was shown by the greater reality is that the Tree of Life is a hidden knowledge, a mystical system of knowledge that was really meant to be illuminated in our age, to guide us through our age of surprise, so that we can become our potential. We can become the possibility of the dream, of this creation that we're living in. Kind of an aside little story about the Tree of Life. I did study the Kabbalah for many, many years, but since a small child, I've been close to trees. I've listened to trees. I've talked to trees. Trees have been like my buddies. So when I came across the Tree of Life, I was like, oh, this really makes sense. That the tree has a knowledge. Buddha was under a Bodhi tree. That a tree has knowledge. And then I was shown in my meditation that, and this was really trippy, that our soul is closer to a tree than to our ego. Meaning the soul, our soul of who we are inside, actually operates like the system of a tree, taking in light, moving through the tree, taking in water, purifying, taking in carbon dioxide, giving oxygen, that the soul has this energetic blueprint of moving energies. It's like an alchemy. And that by understanding our own personal tree of life, we connect deeply into this. And in this, we receive a great, really the word is power, a great love. Once I started investigating this, I found that in the book of Thomas, the Tree of Life is explained, and then there's two pages from the book of Mary Magdalene. It's the only 2 pages that didn't get burned up. And in those 2 pages, Yeshua is giving direction on how to ascend through the Tree of Life. And it's right there. And to make it even more mystical, this journey that I give...
I gotta tell you something. Just when you said that, oh my God, all my hairs are standing up on edge.
Oh, well, that's a good sign.
Look at that.
That's great.
A little mystical moment here.
That's great.
Wow.
That's excellent. So what happened is I am studying the Tree of Life. I'm in deep meditation, and a client comes in and says, I have to tell you something. Many years ago, 20, 30 years ago, I was in the desert, and I met this rabbi. And this rabbi lived with his wife, and he said he's been working on the Tree of Life, and that he created a pathway, opened up a pathway in the Tree of Life, and he had this book with diagrams and talking about it, and he gave it to this guy. And this guy at the time was like in his 20s. And he said, why are you giving it to me? And he said, well, I was told I was to give this to you because I'm dying. So my client just took it, and the rabbi did pass away. Like 20 years later, now he's like in his 40s or early 50s, got kids. Here he is with me. He comes in for a healing session. After a few months, he goes, I have something for you, and I think I've been keeping it because you're supposed to have it. He said, I've had it locked away. It's been in a trunk somewhere. I'm going to pull it out. Maybe you can make sense of it. I can't make sense of it. And he gives me this manuscript about the Tree of Life from this beautiful rabbi. And I took it and I went, oh, wow, this is so powerful. And so I began to read it. And when I was reading it, it was like a knowledge was coming in that was from another place. It was multidimensional reality. It wasn't just like, what's on the page. And I began to study that. And then one day in meditation, I went into these alternative worlds of heaven, the sacred garden, the amethyst cave, the hall of illumination, the room of the throne, these different I literally went there like a lucid dream, and was taken by angels. And when the other side, I came to and came back, and I was like, wow, what happened? What was that? And a voice said, that was the Tree of Life. And so I began to give healings from this understanding. And then I developed the Radiance Tree of Life journeys. And here we are. Here we go.
And that's where you're going to
And
take
that's
us.
where we're going. And that's where we're going to go. So, thank you.